All right, try this one. So let's do the first method. Two consecutive integers whose sum is 49. If x is the first number, consecutive means 1 right after that. So x plus 1 would be the second number. And so sum means addition of those two. So add those two to 49 and then solve for x. And so your numbers are going to be 24, 25. In the second method, we say x is the first number, y is the second number. Their addition has to be 49, and the second number is 1 more than the previous number. So now you have a system of equations, and you can use substitution method or any other method and solve for x. And again, you get the same answers. So you can choose what method comes to you naturally. That's what you'll retain the most. All right, let's try this. Amy needed 17 volunteers for her church fundraiser last year. This year, she predicted she'll need 25. How many more volunteers will you need? A lot of students will say, well, I can just do that in my head. And that would be how? You can just take 25 minus 17 or 8 extra volunteers. But if you don't see that in your head quickly, then again, you can do it systematically. You can say, let V be the number of extra volunteers Amy has to recruit this year. So 25 is the total number you need this year. And so that would be 17 is how many you had last year. So 25 should equal 17 plus the new number of volunteers. Solve for the V, which gives you 8. So either way, you can do the problem as long as you can justify how you got the answer. The second method seems a little cumbersome, but it will come in handy when we do more complicated problems. So it's a good start to get into the habit of being able to systematically represent how you do the problems. All right, let's try this problem. So again, let's say B is the number of buses we need to transport 353 kids. The maximum number of students in each bus is 72. So 72 times the number of buses should add up. So 72 times the number of buses should equal 353. Solve and you get 4.9. Now, can you have 4.9 buses? No, of course not. So that means what? You're going to have to need 5 buses. You need to have the next complete whole number because number of buses is going to be a whole number. All right, try this one on your own. Now, there is no right or wrong answer here because it depends on what percent tip you leave. Some people leave 15%, some leave 18%, some leave 20%. Most typically, people leave 15% tip. When you're sitting at the table, you probably can visualize it. $45 broken into 10 equal pieces would be $4.50. So we have $4.50, 10 boxes makes 100%, and then 15% would be 10% plus half of 10, which is $2.25. Added together will give you $6.75. Does that make sense? All right, another way to do it would be to just compute 0.15 times 45, which is $6.75. And so the reason we are showing you the two methods is because when you're sitting at the actual restaurant, it is more likely that you will compute it visually like this and not writing out an equation. So it's good to have both methods in your arsenal of solving problems. So now let's take a look at a shoe store's advertising 35% sale, and you have been planning to buy $80 pair of shoes at that store. Determine what the sale price of the shoes will be. So let's take our $80 as 100% and break it. So a quarter would be $20 because you're 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters make 100. So fourth of 80 would be 20, right? Okay, now you have 35% of sales. So that means what? This is 25, and 10 more percent will make it 35. But if you look, this is the 25%. So if you want 10%, fifth of 20 is $4, and another $4, they'll give you $8. So that'll be $28 is 35% off, which means your sale price will be 80 minus 28 or $52. Sometimes people have trouble doing visual solutions. So let's do method 2. So you're going to say what? What the sale price of the shoes will be is going to be your variable then. So let's say X is the sale price. So how did we compute sale price? Sale price is original price minus the discount. So X equals $80 minus 35 times 80, with 0.35 times 80, which will give you 52. So the sale price is 52. Last year, Amy made $45,000. This year, she made $48,300. What's the percentage increase in her salary? So anytime you have percentage increase or percentage decrease, the first thing to do is get a variable. So let's say P is the percentage increase. So you have to take the reference amount, which is the original, the difference between that and the new. So that would be 48,300 minus 45,000 and then divided by the original amount, right? So the difference divided by original amount. That's how you compute percentage increase or decrease depending on what you're looking for. And so in this case, what is the percentage increase? 7.3% because you move the decimal 1, 2, because you're looking at percentages as a decimal here. Here are some video log questions that you will do on your own.